Hey guys, it's Nora here with another paranormal experience. If you haven't done so yet, please like and subscribe for more content. What if ghosts really do exist and that they still roam around the places they visited or the homes that they've lived in? I have a story for you that was sent in to me by a subscriber. I will be telling the story from her perspective. Tell me what you think. Do you believe they exist? After many disagreements, arguments, and tears, my parents gave in and allowed him and I to marry. We were young and in love, but we didn't care what anyone thought. We had a short and simple cultural wedding early in 1982. Right after the wedding, we moved down to Houston, where my husband had already been living, to start our life as a young and married couple. We lived in an old one-level, 500 square foot side-by-side duplex with his older brother and friend. It was a brick home with barely any windows. Because of the lack of windows, the place was very dark and dingy. The duplex was only a one-bedroom and one-bathroom rental with a tiny office nook. Moving in with a couple of young bachelors, it was no surprise to me that there weren't any kind of furnishings in the home. The other rooms were occupied by his brother and friend, so my husband and I had no choice but to sleep on the floor in the living area. We had all but 2 pillows, a thin sheet, and a blanket. Since money was tight at the time, we just used the sheet to sleep on the hard surface, as it would be freezing at night. Every morning I'd get up to see my husband off to work. I couldn't go to school because I had no transportation, so I stayed home to cook and clean and read during my downtime. One day, as I was reading and flipping through magazines, I heard what sounded like footsteps and the floor creaking. It sounded like someone was walking past me and headed to the bathroom as I heard it clear as day. I was oblivious at first and thought maybe it was the neighbors since they had little kids of their own and the walls were thin, but I started to hear the footsteps more frequently. Every day the footsteps would be heard, and they would be heard going into the bathroom. Being home alone during the day, I didn't want to think much of it. However, one afternoon, I started getting tired and I started dozing off. I always left the bathroom lights on since the rental didn't get much natural light in. Because of limited living space, I slept across the bathroom with my toes pointing towards it. I was starting to shut my eyes, but then I suddenly started hearing the footsteps again. I was sleeping on my side at the time, but after hearing the loud steps, I turned over to look at the bathroom. It was there that I saw something. As I looked, a tall, pale white man appeared before me, standing in front of the toilet with his back turned. He had on blue roughed-up jeans and a white t-shirt. I remember waking myself up to make sure I wasn't dreaming and rubbed my eyes to clear my vision. It was still standing there with its back turned. No sound, no movement whatsoever. I got up as quickly as possible and ran to my neighbor next door. I was hysterical because I wasn't sure who or what it was that I saw. The neighbor tried calming me down, but I just couldn't. I was still in my PJs, so after a while, the neighbor insisted that her daughter go back to my duplex with me so that I could change. We walked in, and I ran to grab my duffel bag of clothes. I got to changing quick and scrambled out of there. When my husband returned home, I told him what happened and that I refused to be left alone in that duplex. Ever since that day, I made sure not to be left alone there and would head on over to the neighbor next door when the guys would leave off to work. About a month later, we were able to get our own apartment and move out. I never looked back, nor went back to that place ever again.